Hello everybody, welcome to my networking show. Today's topic, virtualization. So Adam, can you tell me what virtualization is? When I think of virtualization, I think of the cloud. What is the cloud? The cloud is a big data center that hosts a lot of computers for a lot of companies. We have three big players in the market today: Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services. Their cloud computing would not be possible without virtualization. So what is virtualization? I've worked with companies who have spent anywhere from 20 grand to 60 grand on one physical server box. This box can be Dell or HP. It can have 2 CPUs with 12 cores each, 1,000 gigabytes of RAM, a lot of resources. So why would you need that many resources? Well, let's go back 20 years where a system engineer has to take one physical server box and install the domain controller DNS on it. He would take a second server box for the file server, third server box for the DHCP server. Now you have 3 boxes doing their own thing, which is great, but now you gotta cable them all. I don't know about you, but 1,000 base T cables aren't that cheap. You gotta pay for someone to do the cable management so you don't have a mess. And now all of them give off a lot of heat. Heat brings moisture to the air, humidity. Now you gotta install big air conditioning systems and dehumidifiers, hire the HVAC team to come in and put all these big things in. That's all physical things in your physical building. So that's all real estate. Now you're wasting real estate, now you're wasting more energy, now you're wasting all this extra cabling and manpower to do all this stuff when you could have just had one server running all this stuff. So that's why. And the biggest thing is, if you want to maintain or update it, or one of them goes down, now your whole website's down. So it could take anywhere from an hour, 2 hours to update it, and while you do that, your services are down and another company comes in and their competition, so customers start to go to them. That's got a lot of bad benefits for your company. So thank God it's 2020. We got a solution to that. Now we have hypervisors. Hypervisors are the abstraction layer, the glue between the physical hardware and the operating system. That's where we have a host hypervisor where you can open up your Windows 2016 server, go under the server manager, open up new roles and features. You can add Hyper-V on that list. Now you can open up this Hyper-V software. You can install VMs, mount the iOS image for the operating system. You can have like 20, 30, 50, 100 operating systems. This doesn't matter. It's all up to how much resources your server has. And those can be Windows servers. You can install a pfSense firewall on one of the VMs, Linux, Mac OS, and the other type of hypervisor is called bare metal. Bare metal is when you don't even have an operating system on your physical server. This is very common in companies that I've worked for. You just turn on the server and it goes right to the VMware ESXi or the Citrix Zen, or Hyper-V has a bare metal as well. This is really good and a lot of companies use it a lot. And now there's 3 main forms of virtualization. The first form is server virtualization. You could have one server with up to 100 VMs or 200, it doesn't matter. You can have as many VMs on it as you want, or as many as the server can handle at least. So that could be your domain controller, your DNS on one VM, then your DHCP on the other. You can have the backup server on another if you want to, and you can do it all on one box. And the great part about this is now that all the operating systems are virtual, you can always migrate them over to another physical server. So if you need to do any maintenance or upgrading or updating the servers and stuff like that, then all you need to do is migrate it over. Nothing has to go down. You don't lose any services. Do all the maintenance on this server over here, and then before you know it, you did all of your maintenance and you didn't have to turn off anything. So it's all seamless, which brings us to number 2, which is storage virtualization. With storage virtualization comes things like pure storage. You got these big pure storage physical server racks that have a whole bunch of storage on them, and that's for the VMs on your servers. That means you don't need to put terabytes and terabytes of hard drives into your server. You can host all the storage, the virtual disks, on this pure storage server. And now the third thing is going to be networking. This is the coolest one of all the virtualizations, because here you can do virtual network interface cards. That means you can have 100 VMs on one physical server that all these people from all parts of the world are connected to. They can all have the same network interface cards with the same configuration settings, or you can have a different NIC for your engineering department or your accounting department, depending on how your network engineers designing the network and stuff like that. You can have virtual servers, virtual switches, routers. Like, isn't that so cool? Like, you used to have just closets and closets, rows of closets of just switches and routers, but now you can have it all on virtual. Like, that's just so cool. And so that brings us to, virtual routers. Imagine 20 years ago, you're a network engineer and you have to install OSPF on 10 different routers, or 20 or 50 different routers. Now imagine you got to go through all of them, type in the same commands into all of them, and then, one of them you put in a typo, and now the network's not working. You don't know why the network's not working. Now you have to go through every single router again to check the configuration, check what's wrong. When now in 2020, you have like DevOps tools, you got the cloud, Ansible, Chef, Puppet. These are all automation tools for networking. You can just write a script with Python or Ruby, or if you don't know scripting, you can just go into GitHub, find a pre-made script, pull it, and then you can just edit the script like wherever you can just edit the script to match your network configuration, and then you press a button and it deploys OSPF on 20 routers, 30 routers. And now if anything goes wrong on the routers, there's other tools in Ansible, other scripts that you can run. There's troubleshooting scripts you can run with Ansible too. If the network goes down, you run this Ansible script, it goes through all the show commands and debug commands on all the routers, and then it brings you back all the information that you told it that you want to see. So now you get all this information. Now you can pinpoint what's wrong with the router without even SSHing into anything. It just brings it all back to you, and then from there you can very easily come up with a solution for the problem. So that's what I think about virtualization, and I think if you're not running virtualization in 2020, you're probably still running Windows XP, and that's not good. So get off Windows XP, come on over to the virtualization world. Thanks for watching.